In this video we'll go over the predictions for Daryl Dixon season 2 and all we really know about it. Spoiler alert, we don't know a lot. So this is mostly what I think could happen in season 2. So season 1 concluded with Daryl finding a boat and he wanted to finally leave France, but Laurent came after him and that's basically where it ends. Now let's quickly talk about this scene. Laurent comes after Daryl. Okay, the only problem with this is that it makes absolutely no sense. I mean, think about it. Daryl needed 2 days to come from the nest, which is the shelter place where Isabel and Laurent were supposed to stay. Now Laurent apparently went after Daryl, but think about it. You're saying that Laurent was sneaking after Daryl for 2 full days and he managed to kill all the walkers that attacked him and everything. Yeah, no, not very likely. Also look at how the walkers are walking. If Laurent really was there, he would be screwed. There's dozens of walkers around him. He'd need to jump off the hill to get away. Also, walkers aren't really attacking him. Some seem to walk in his direction, but when you really think about it, Daryl was just fighting these walkers, so they are actually going after Daryl. They aren't walking toward Laurent, some of them are literally going past him and towards the beach. Also, if Laurent really was there, Daryl would be freaking out. He'd go save him considering how many walkers are around him, but Daryl just kind of stands there and does nothing. So I think this is all an illusion, and Daryl knows it. I mean, he just saw the grave of his grandpa who apparently left his family, and Daryl doesn't want to do the same thing, so he probably feels bad for leaving Isabel and Laurent behind. If Laurent really was there, that would be pretty weird, honestly. So this is all probably happening in Daryl's head. Why did I mention this? Well, it's just a cool little theory that I have. Oh yeah, and also that will drastically change the story. If Laurent was there, Daryl would be obligated to get him back to the nest in one piece, while if this is an illusion, he doesn't have a reason to go back to the nest. Maybe he just feels really bad about leaving them and that's why he'll probably go back, but yeah, that changes the situation quite a bit. The second season is also called The Book of Carol, so as you can imagine, Carol will be in it. We actually have a little teaser trailer that AMC released and we'll go over that footage soon, but just to recap, Daryl went missing and Carol is now trying to find him. She found this guy who took Daryl's bike and she got some information from him and she is investigating where Daryl is. So Carol will probably find Daryl in France. Considering Daryl wanted to leave France, it would kind of make sense if Daryl got back to America and found Carol there, but that's probably never gonna happen. I doubt we're going back to America. The first season was entirely in France, so it would be pretty dumb to just leave Europe now. Maybe we'll get to see Carol traveling around Europe in the UK or something, but I doubt most of season 2 will happen in America. So Carol will find Daryl and not the other way around. So let's analyze the little teaser we have for season 2 now. First, Daryl says, I don't think that's the place where I'm supposed to be. I'm thinking about all the people that I left behind. Now this is interesting. It's possible Daryl said this just in the trailer, but it's probably taken from an episode. But when could Daryl say this? Is he just saying out loud his thoughts? He clearly didn't reunite with anybody yet at this point, so this could be a proof that he went back to the nest and he's talking to somebody there. Otherwise, I really don't know where this would fit. Hey, are you in the mood? For subscribing, I mean, of course. If you are, punch that subscribe button 3 times. We also see Carol and she has his crossbow. So that means that the people who put Daryl on the boat took his stuff and now Carol has found them. She says a man that was here, where is he? So imagine Carol finds Daryl in France and she brings him his crossbow. That would be sweet. Then a guy asks Carol, would you give up everything to look for somebody you haven't met? So this could be anything, honestly. It could be some kind of a short side story or something. Maybe it's a reference because Carol is also looking for someone. It's hard to say what this is about. Then there's some more shots of Daryl and others seeming to fight Jeanette's people. Jeanette is pretty pissed and I think they'll have a little version of all-out war. Then we see that Carol is trapped in this car and there's a bunch of walkers around. There's some really cool shots of someone killing walkers and there's blood everywhere and then Carol says yes, which is a response to the question that the guy asked her before. Basically it's just cool dialogue, but it's hard to know what it's actually about, and this is pretty much it. So this teaser doesn't have a lot to work with, it's just a bunch of cool shots. There aren't many Easter eggs or anything, so we know that Carol will find Daryl and she'll probably bring his crossbow with her. But what will be the main plot of the show? Well, like I said, Jeanette's pretty pissed, so Daryl will probably fight her little army. We'll also probably find out what the hell is up with Laurent's chosen one thingy, because you'd say that it's all just some stupid prophecy or something that Nuns believe, but we saw it. Laurent is special. He has special abilities, he can connect with people and even make walkers leave him alone. It's insane. So we'll probably find out more about what all of this is about. Also, of course, we can't forget about variant walkers. Daryl's reaction to them was pretty chill. He was pretty calm because he had to fight them and he kept his shit together, but I think that Carol's reaction to them will be priceless. Carol is just so confident and she'll want to find out what all of this means. Daryl doesn't care and just wants to go back to America, but Carol will probably be like, "Daryl, we need to fix this." And Daryl will be like, "Nah." And Carol will convince him to stay and find out more about variant walkers. As we saw, variant walkers aren't quite a finished project yet, so they could get even scarier and stronger. Jeanette clearly isn't quite satisfied with the results yet, so she'll continue with her experiments and probably make them even more capable. Maybe we'll find out about more different variants, who knows. I know this is just some general information, but we don't have much yet. Everyone is currently hyped about the ones who live, but for anyone who liked the first season, I don't really think people realize what potential this show has. I can't imagine season 2 being worse than season 1. I'm not saying that season 1 was bad by any means, it was amazing, but there's so much more they can do now. They can't screw it up, honestly. It's gonna be so cool no matter in which direction they intend to take the story. It's gonna be really cool.